Have you ever looked back on a moment and thought, damn, if I had known then what I know now? Yeah, we all have. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. Most men don't learn these lessons until it's too late. Until the woman's gone. Until the silence feels heavier than the noise. Until the mirror shows a man he barely recognizes. And that's why I made this. Not to hurt you, but to wake you up. Because if someone had grabbed me by the shoulders years ago and whispered these 7 truths into my ear, a lot of pain could have been avoided. A lot of time could have been saved. And a lot of fake people would have never had a seat at my table. But it's not too late for you. You're here. You're listening. And I'm going to give you the raw, unfiltered lessons that can shift your entire path if you let them. So listen closely. These aren't quotes for your Instagram bio. These are warnings carved from real scars. 1. Chasing women will never fill the void inside you. Stop chasing women and build yourself first. Listen, you will never be able to truly focus inward if you are constantly chasing women. If you're texting this girl, meeting up with that girl, all while thinking about some other girls, you will never be focused. And once you channel your focus into what really matters, everything else will fall into place. Let's get the hard truth out of the way. The one most men never hear until it's too late. Chasing women is not the answer. It feels good in the moment. The thrill, the attention, the validation. It all hits like a drug. But that's exactly what it is. A temporary high masking a deeper hunger. And when that high wears off, you're back where you started. Maybe even worse. There comes a time in every man's life when he realizes you don't attract what you chase. You attract what you become. You spend your early 20s trying to impress her, clothes, cars, trying to be charming. But deep down, it's rooted in fear. The fear that you're not enough as you are. The painful lesson: women respect men who respect themselves. They're drawn to the ones who don't need them, not out of arrogance, but from a quiet self-assurance that says, I'll be fine with or without you. It's not that women don't matter. It's that they're not supposed to be your mission. When you make them the mission, you lose the plot of your own story. And when you do that, you lose yourself. 2. Not everyone deserves access to you. This one stings the most because for most of your life, you've been taught to be available, to be liked, to be the good guy. You open the door for everyone. Friends, women, co-workers, family. Thinking being selfless made you noble. But here's the brutal truth. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people come into your life just to drain it. They don't want you. They want your time, your resources, your loyalty. And once they've sucked you dry, they move on as if you were just a free trial. You ever notice how some folks only call when they need something? Or how that one woman only reaches out when things don't work out with the other guy? That's not coincidence. That's design. You became too accessible. And people treated you accordingly. You don't need to be cruel. You just need boundaries. See, there's strength in being unavailable, in saying no, in walking away from drama you used to run toward. Most men don't learn this until they've wasted years trying to prove themselves to people who never deserved them in the first place. When you master the ability to be calm, composed, and selective, people notice. You stop chasing validation and start commanding respect. It's not about ego. It's about self-preservation. 3. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. This one's harsh. But it's also the most liberating. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you anything. You could be the kindest man alive. Loyal, hardworking, honest, and still get passed over, ghosted, or betrayed. That doesn't mean the world is broken. It just means life doesn't hand out rewards based on effort alone. Most men waste precious years waiting for recognition, for a woman to finally see their worth, for life to feel fair. But life isn't fair. It's indifferent. The sooner you accept that, the faster you'll stop acting like a victim and start moving like a warrior. Once you accept that the world owes you nothing, you stop waiting for permission. You take total radical responsibility, and that's when everything changes. You stop whining. You start building. You stop resenting others. You start respecting yourself. The man who believes life should be fair is always bitter. The man who understands that nothing is promised becomes dangerous, focused, clear. Stoicism teaches us this every day. You are not in control of outcomes, only your actions. And guess what? That's enough. 4. Peace is more valuable than attention. When you're young, attention feels like oxygen. You crave the likes, the compliments, the flirty texts. You want to be seen, desired, wanted. It makes you feel alive. But here's the truth most men don't realize until the damage is done. Attention is cheap. Peace is priceless. See, the wrong kind of attention can cost you your sanity. That woman who constantly plays hot and cold, she's giving you attention, but it's toxic. That friend who hypes you up only when it serves him, he's watching, but not supporting. When you confuse attention for worth, you start chasing the wrong things. You sacrifice your peace to keep their eyes on you. But what's the point of being admired if you can't sleep at night? If you're constantly anxious? If your soul is tired? There's something sacred about walking into your space and feeling calm. No chaos, no drama, no games, just clarity. Most men don't chase peace because they've never tasted it. They think grinding non-stop and staying in toxic loops is what it means to be a man. It's not. That's survival, and you're meant for more. 5. Holding back your truth will always backfire. There's a moment every man faces when he wants to say something real, but doesn't. He holds back, swallows his words, pretends it doesn't bother him, smiles when he should have spoken up. For a while, it feels like the right move. But here's the problem with silence. It builds resentment. You think you're keeping the peace by avoiding confrontation, but really, you're planting seeds of bitterness that will grow into full-blown emotional storms later. Maybe you didn't tell her how much it hurt when she flirted with another guy. Maybe you didn't tell your friend that his jokes cut too deep. Stoicism is not about emotional suppression. It's about emotional mastery. And true mastery begins with honesty. Your voice isn't just for speaking. It's for setting standards, drawing lines, declaring boundaries, saying, this is what I allow in my life, and this is what I won't. The longer you wait to speak your truth, the harder it gets, and eventually you explode or collapse. The right people will respect your honesty. The wrong ones will be offended by it. Either way, you win. 6. No one can save you but you. This is the final bitter truth that hits men like a truck. But if you accept it, you become unstoppable. No woman, no friend, no mentor, no guru is coming to fix your life. They can support you, guide you, but the decision to change, to evolve, is always yours. You can't outsource the work. You can't delegate the inner healing. You can't expect someone to love you out of your own self-hate. It's on you. And once that sinks in, once you stop waiting and start moving, you realize you don't need saving. You need discipline, consistency, courage. You need to stop numbing the pain and start sitting with it. You need to stop making excuses and start building habits. You need to stop blaming everyone and start taking extreme ownership. That's Stoicism. The man who saves himself doesn't become bitter. He becomes dangerous because he knows what it means to rise without applause. 7. The woman you want is a mirror, not a savior. Let's talk about something no one wants to admit, especially not men chasing validation. That woman you put on a pedestal, she's not going to fix your emptiness. You think getting her will make you feel enough, that if you could just win her, everything would click. But here's the truth. She can't give you what you haven't built yourself. The woman you want, the one you dream about, is just a mirror. She reflects where you are in life. If you're whole, you'll attract wholeness. If you're wounded, you'll attract chaos. Simple as that. Here's what most men do wrong. They make her the prize. They revolve their confidence around her response. They beg for her energy instead of building their own. But a high-value woman is never drawn to neediness. She senses the fear behind the front, and she walks. She's not cold. You're just not ready. That doesn't make you worthless. It makes you accountable. There's work to do. Not for her, but for you. You want her to admire you, be admirable. You want her to chase you. Stop chasing validation. The love you're looking for isn't outside you. It's what you build by becoming the man who doesn't need to be chosen, because he's already chosen himself.